Hello everyone, I'm here with Shadow Gaming, here to cast another StarCraft 2 match for you guys between our red Zerg down here in the bottom left versus our blue Protoss up here in the top right. So I'm gonna just gonna go ahead and start the game now. Again, these replays were sent to me by Greatjnight. The games were played between seasons 2 and 3 on the ladder. So yeah, the games are quite old, but we can still get pretty good games out of pretty good matches at least out of these old seasons. But as we see right now, our Reserve is going to go ahead and it looks like just go ahead and drone scout first. Again, mind you, this is pretty old in the pretty young actually in the game. The Overlord over here doesn't have his movement speed increased, which somebody should have told him a long time ago that he was going to get a movement speed buff. But yeah, let's just go ahead and speed this up a little bit because TVP tends to, or not TVP, PVZ tends to be a little slow to start, and then it picks up pretty quick. But as we see, we do get a Greatjnight is going ahead and doing some damage to that drone, but not a whole lot. But this map is pretty small to begin with, and there's only 2 spawn locations in the entire map. So yeah, one player is going to be down here in the bottom left, the other is going to be up here in the top right. As we see, however, we do have the spawning pool first from our red Zerg down here in the bottom left. And I'm sorry guys, until I learn everything, I'm just going to have to keep on going through this. Our red Zerg right now is getting a extractor right now. He's getting some more drones, an overlord, and again his spawning pool. Greatjnight is going ahead and getting his gateway first, which not really surprised. He's actually going to be able to artificially wall off right here with a zealot, or even if he decides to get a stalker out, he'll still be completely walled off. You can put a probe right there, and yeah, he'll be completely fine. But we do see he does go ahead and start his zealot, but he is supply blocked right now, so he's got to wait for that pylon the next, I would say, about 3 seconds here. I mean, they don't take that long to build anyway, but yeah, we do see now he does get his first zealot out, and it's not going to allow Hunter, our Zerg, to be able to scout him anymore without using Overlord, which I believe that Overlord is set to go right about over here-ish, so that he can quickly dip in and out of the base, or maybe he'll come right up over here, again, so that we can quickly dip in and out of the base when, if he does get, turned into an Overseer later on. But, we do see, 2 Zerglings right down here at his own natural to maybe see if there was a pylon dropped or anything else, because it's pretty common no matter what league you're in to have a pylon dropped at your natural if you're a Zerg going up against a toss. But we do see now about 4.5 minutes into the game, our Zerg finally does decide to take his natural, which I've seen earlier, and I've had my hatchery down there earlier. We do see the Queen just going ahead and injecting larva, which can't really complain. I don't think he's missed all any inject larvas at all, but that also means he doesn't have creep spread going on. We do see he's actually our Zerg is supply blocked right now, and Greatjnight's going to be supply blocked here in the next few seconds if he doesn't get another pylon or 2 down. But let's see, this is a good chunk of time that our Zerg is supply blocked. I guess he doesn't have any larva. Actually, he just got some larva now, but he's now building 2 overlords, so that's going to alleviate the supply block just for a little bit, though. And we do see that overlord did go ahead and dip in here like I said he was going to, but he is going to be a sacrificial one because he's about to die now. And yeah, as I said, the double overlord is going to alleviate the supply block for a little bit, but not too long. He's going to have to go ahead and continue producing more overlords till he hits about, I would say about 70 cap for his supply. And Greatjnight's also going to need a couple more pylons down, but overall it's nothing too big. I believe this game was played in a Gold League, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, they're not the greatest in the world, but they're starting to get their mechanics down. I'm just going to keep it at faster speed, because faster times 2 is a little too fast for me actually keep up with. And right now we actually do see this Overlord. It's probably going to be another sacrificial Overlord, or he might stop right here where he pretty much can't be hit. And no, it looks like he's going to be a sacrificial over... No, he's going to stop where he almost can't get hit. If our toss-up here on the top right-hand side does go ahead and get like an Observer or pretty much any flying unit, a Phoenix, a Void Ray, he'll be able to take that Overlord out no problem and supply block of our Zerg real quick again. But we do see 7 Roaches on the way now, and Roaches are pretty supply hefty. For every 1 Roach that is 2 supply, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see, that is how many Roaches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 18 supply just into Roaches. That is a lot. Plus, he just used 2 of his drones for spine crawlers for some static defense, which isn't always, it isn't a bad idea, but it always isn't a good idea to get static defense. Considering right now, I mean, he knows absolutely nothing of, what's going on in the Toss's base right now. But he does go ahead and lose the Overlord up here to Greatjnight Stalkers, I believe. So, yeah, Greatjnight actually has no idea what's going on in the Zerg's base right now. He hasn't even scouted. That's how, delayed his scouting really is. But, yeah, I mean... being the power, of a spectator or, observer, I guess you can say, a real observer in the game, we can actually see all of that's going on. Greatjnight does go ahead and semi-block the back route over here. I mean, I say semi because if we look at it, Zerglings can still fit through here. Zerglings can fit in 2 at a time, and Roaches should be able to fit in 1 at a time. We do, however, see a massive Overlord move to over here in the bottom right. I guess that way he doesn't lose any more, which, that's always a good idea. You send your Overlords, down to the Nether, or keep them over your main base, or just even put them above structures, so that way it's harder for, your opponent to go ahead and target the structures. But we do see right now Greatjnight's at 81 supply, Hunter's at 100 out of 124. But a lot of that isn't Roaches. Let's see. 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17, 19, 21. So that's 42 supply into Roaches plus another, 8 that just popped. That's, that's a lot of supply. I believe that's like 60 supply into Roaches or something. So that's not necessarily the best choice, and we actually do see Greatjnight has 0/0 upgrades. So does our Zerg down here, but it doesn't really matter. Zerg's got the defensive advantage with the spine crawlers, which did prove to be kind of a pain in the ass for our toss-up here. But I mean, we finally have Zergling speed being research too. What the hell's up with people not getting the speed upgrades and whatnot? And the last game, the Terran didn't even get stimmed till like 12 minutes in. But I mean, Zergling speed's almost necessary. But this massive Roach army right here, that's a lot of Roaches. I actually don't even know how to count that many. But we do see our Toss still doesn't even know much about his opponent. He knows he has a natural, which, that's fine. And he obviously knows that he has a main base, which, common sense right there. And actually, our Toss right now is supply blocked at 100. So that's not good at all, but he is researching +1 ground. He's researching Zealot Charge, and he's researching +1 ground armor. So he's getting the ground weapon, ground armor, and the charge legs for those Zealots, which can make his Zealots pretty beefy. And we do see nice blink into his own base right here to take out another Overlord. But I think he just finally realized now he's trying to build an Immortal that he's pretty heavily supply blocked. He's gonna need to drop more than just 2 of the pylons to get on supply blocked. But however, he does have a robotics bay going on, so he may eventually get a few Colossus out. He does have a third Nexus coming down, which is going to be his natural right down here. Wise idea to put it up here, but could have also gone, a little risky and going for his, third to be right here at the rich mineral fields, which I believe give like 6 minerals per turn in or something like that. However, he is going to also semi-artificially wall in. Actually, I think that's a full wall in over here. So now if the Zerg wants to attack, they've got to come all the way around through Greatjnight's own natural to, attack that third base. Or send flying units. That's another way. Or try and slip, through this little crack right down here, which, as I said, two Zerglings at a time can fit through there, or one Roach. However, we do see our Zergling going ahead, or our Zerg rather, going ahead and getting the rich mineral field for himself, the high yield expansion pretty much. However, we actually do see the Stalkers right now getting trapped by all those Lings, but they do have blank and managed to blank away with not many losses on either side. Let's see, units killed as control R. Our Zergs only managed to kill 1 unit. Meanwhile, our Toss has been able to kill 18. That 1 unit, I believe, was a, I think was a Zella? Or a Probe, maybe? Obviously no workers have been killed, but, Greatjnight has killed, a lot of overlords, and we actually see our Zerg right now going Infestor, Roach, Ling, which that's a pretty standard composition, but, he doesn't have the, he doesn't have any upgrades for any of his units. Meanwhile, our Toss is working on 2-2 for his ground. He still doesn't have the shield upgrade, but to be honest, he doesn't really need it. And he's working on his first Colossus right now, so he's feeling pretty good. As we actually see, the Zerg right now is ahead on gas income, ahead on pretty much gas and mineral income, but he's also hovering about 3,000. A little over 3,000 resources total, whereas our Toss right now, he isn't even anywhere near supply capped, and he's, not hovering that much. We do, however, have a, the Zerg just did go ahead and break through the wall, and that Greatjnight did go ahead and put up here. But right now, it looks like that that Colossus is going to start shredding through all of those Roaches and Lings, and actually those I have no idea what those Zealots were doing, but they were trying to get some of those Roaches, but it looks like they just sacrificed themselves for ire, I guess. I mean, not much else to say. We do have, again, that high yield expansion is going to come very, very handy for our Zerg, because that just leaves less that he has to actually mine from his natural, less down here from, I guess, technically his 4th, and it also helps with the fact that he's almost mined out in his main. We do now have the Guile, or Glial Reconstitution, or Guile Reconstitution, however that one's pronounced. We do have a Spire coming up, so we can start seeing a multiply here out of our Zerg. However, we do have +3 ground armor and weapons being researched by our Toss right now. Our Zerg is just now starting ground carapace level 1 and missile attack for all of his Roaches. And if he were to lob out some infested Terrans as well. But, and actually, I believe he did go ahead and get Overlord speed, but honestly, I have no idea what our Zerg right now can do. He does, have a good chunk of Infestor, well, a couple of Infestors with a good chunk of energy, so he can get a good couple of fungal growths off on that army, suppress the Stalkers from blinking, but Greatjnight's already up to 3 Colossus, and those Colossus are just shredding those Roaches right now. We see, those Roaches are going ahead and take out a lot of those Zealots, and they're going to start working over here on these Stalkers, but I think those Colossus are just too much for our Zerg to handle right now. Looks like one of those Colossus will... No, it barely survives. But that was definitely a missed opportunity by our Zerg. Yes, he's pretty much fully maxed out again, but that's 100 and... What was that, 112 supply just from Roaches he just made? That is an absurd amount. Let's see. Roaches, yeah. That was 112 supply he just made in Roaches, which aren't really the best unit for, for him to be making with, all those Blink Stalkers. I mean, yes, he's also going up against Colossus, which would pretty much roast his Lings, but Lings do stand a fair chance of doing some damage to the Stalkers. I mean, the Stalkers do 16 damage versus Armored, and the Roaches are Armored, but the Roaches do 18 flat-out damage. But our toss right now is almost at 3-3. So those Roaches are going to be doing about, 14 damage instead of 15 they're doing right now? So, yeah, they're not going to be the best spot, but, we do see those Roaches are going ahead and focusing on one by one the Stalkers, but as I said, those Colossus right now are they're proving to be a very, very big pain. He's actually getting out Corruptors, which he actually needs right now to go ahead and deal with those Colossus. But he's going to need more than 7. Let's see, he's got 5 Colossus, if my count is right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's got 5 Colossus. It's going to take more than just 7 Corruptors to take down 5 Colossus. He's going to need about 15 to 20 Corruptors, which he now just started building even more Corruptors, which that's good, but he also doesn't have upgrades on those. Let's see, those do 20 damage versus Massive. And yes, the Colossus are counted as Massive, but they also do have, a good chunk of armor, so the Corruptors will be doing about 16 damage instead of the full 20. So that's why I say he's going to need about 15 to 20 Corruptors. This is actually good. He's now starting to mix Lings in with his Roaches as well. But it may be too little too late to start doing that because Greatjnight doesn't have all that many Stalkers left. A lot of his units now are Zealots and Colossus, and those are going to start ripping through those those Lings and whatnot. However, we do see another Zerg attack, or Ling attack rather, up here on the warp gates, but they can't get a full surround on the building to do all the damage they need to. However, we do have one Colossus falling down to the Corruptors, the second Colossus falling down to the Corruptors, but it looks like the Stalkers are going to go ahead and clean up the Corruptors right now. So yeah, it looks like there's still 4 Colossus remaining. So Greatjnight was up to 6 Colossus, and we just see now our Zerg is going to go ahead and lose that rich mineral patch, or the high yield expansion rather. But he does have a quote unquote secret expansion up over here, which to be honest really isn't that secret. But as we see, our Zerg does say damn Death Ball, because I mean a Protest Death Ball usually consists of a ton of Stalkers, a couple of Colossus, and a couple of Zealots, and 2-3 Sentries mixed in for just a little flavor, and plus the you can't go wrong with the Guardian Shield and the Force Field. But we do see our Zerg does go ahead and leave here, leaving Greatjnight now. In the past 2 games I've cast, winning 2-0. But yeah, I did ask him to I tried to ask him to not just send me, only 1 games. I don't know if he did or not, but we'll just have to go and find out. But I think I'm done casting StarCraft 2 for the night, guys. If you guys liked it, go ahead and thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and I'll talk to you guys next time.